Hello Soul Fam, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Now before I get into this video, I just want to thank everyone that has donated to my channel. Thank you so very much. It's so very helpful. Also, I want to thank everybody that has sent me a time donation. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with what a time donation is, it's you using your time to write me a letter and mailing it to me via snail mail, the good old-fashioned way. I love you guys. I love everything that you guys send me. I cherish it. And when you guys send me little gifts, I hang them. I have this special room in my house. It's my spiritual room. And I hang those gifts, or I place them in my spiritual room. I cherish those gifts, and I love those gifts. I thank you so very much. And I cherish the letters and the cards and everything. Anything and everything that you guys send me, I love it. Okay, so today I just want to, I've been wanting to do this video for so long. I've been talking about it and telling you guys that I'm doing this video about empaths, and it's just been so hard to find the time to record this. You know, I'm not home alone, and when I'm home with people, they're either too noisy or, you know, they want my attention. They all want my attention because I'm not home anymore. So they miss me. Or my phone's ringing. Story of my life. But here I am, finally alone, and guess what? It's 9/11. For those of you guys that have been following me for a long time will know what that means. The number 11 is just everywhere for me. So yeah, today I want to talk about empaths and the different kinds of empaths that are out there in the world. When I was new to this realm of spirituality, I thought that there was only one type of empath out there. I thought that they were just healers, energy feelers, or very sensitive people emotionally. Then I started to meet people, more people, and I started coming across different people, so many different kinds of people being on, you know, my spiritual path. And I've met so many different kinds of empaths. There's not just one kind of empath. There's many different kinds of empaths. They all have different skills and traits and gifts and personalities. Now, in a sense, we are all empathic, okay? You know, just like we are all divine. Some of us are more aware that we're empaths. We're more aware of our gifts. We're more aware of the magic that we hold inside. Now, some of you guys may be wondering what an empath is, because not everybody really knows, okay? And what types of empaths there are in this life. Because if you're like me, you probably only thought there was one kind. And some of the questions that people ask me a lot do empaths, do they have psychic abilities? Are they spiritual? What is the difference between someone who shows empathy and being an empath? Now, an empath is empathic. You know, not just empathic. They're much more than just being an empathic person. Many people can be empathic and show empathic concern. That means the ability to be able to think about, understand, and feel compassion for other people, and not just people, but also for animals and nature. Okay? This is cognitive empathy for people's feelings and emotions, and animals' feelings and emotions. And, you know, for some people, nature has feelings too. Nature has emotions. Flowers have emotions. Trees have emotions. Rocks have emotions. Water has emotion. Okay? Empathic people do not just show concern or act sympathetically. They are able to imagine themselves in someone else's situation or in the other person's shoes. They're able to put themselves in the other person's shoes, in their position. An empath has the ability to physically feel and experience what another person is going through. They literally embody what is going on for other people and the energy that is around them. This means their ability to show empathy is ginormous. It's huge. They understand deeply what it is like for another person to be in that person's shoes. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, there are also many different types of empaths. Okay, so all empaths are able to feel empathy and energy, for other people and for animals and for nature. But there's different kinds of empaths. There's different types of empaths. Being an empath may coincide with a person's spiritual beliefs, but equally it may not. Some empaths have the ability to perceive what is happening to other people, what is happening to animals, plants, the environment, and so much more. Okay, they're able to pick up on a lot of what's going on around them. We all have the ability to be an empath. We're all empaths. We're all divine. We were all created by a God. So we all have this ability. Now, are you wondering if you are an empath? And if you are wondering that, yes, you are. You just may not be aware you are. Or maybe you are aware that you are an empath. And if you are, you may find that, you can relate and connect with many different traits that empaths experience. Some of these traits that you guys may be experiencing are things like you may be highly sensitive and always very, very aware of everything that's going on around you in your life. I am so eerily aware of what's going on around me in my life. Sometimes it's kind of freaky. It's like my etheric body is one big eyeball. my energy that surrounds my body is like a force field, like a high security system. It sees everything. It sees all. It feels all. Well, at least that's how it feels for me. That's the mental image that I get when I envision my etheric body. Okay, when I envision what my empathic body signature looks like, it reminds me of like the all-seeing eye that surrounds my body like a force field. Actually, it's a feeling that I get, a certain sensation that will draw my attention to something, to bring my awareness to whatever it is that it's trying to draw my attention to. Okay, so for example, one morning many years ago, I was putting my kids in the car. They were small, my kids are in their 20s now, so they were little kids. So I was putting them in the car. It was like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I know it was really, really early in the morning. Between 3 and 5, we'll say. I know it was somewhere in the morning. And suddenly I got this like weird feeling. It was like when I sense danger, I get like this red flag warning, and it's like an alarm that goes off in my head, and it's just like, it says warning, warning, red flag, and I'll start to see red, and I'll start to see like a little triangular red flag in my mind's eye, and it's like red flag, warning, warning, and it's my body's way of setting off an alarm. They're like alarm bells. Alert, alert. You need to be alert. It's like my spirit guides or my higher self or my etheric body, my energy signature, everything is like, alert, alert. You know, all of the alarm bells go off. It's telling me you're not alone. You're being watched. And then I remember turning around. I turned around immediately after I was getting all of those like alarm sensations. I turned around, and when I turned around in the exact direction that there was a man peering out from his porch, just like staring at me. And he was creepy. When I looked at him and we made eye contact, he like slid back into his house. Like he creeped back in, he kind of like shut his door and walked away. It was really, really creepy, you guys. I remember I jumped into my car and I just locked the doors. I don't even remember if I finished putting the seatbelts on my kids. I think, if I remember correctly, I just shoved them in the car, jumped in, locked the doors, and just like drove down the street, and I eventually pulled over to put my kids' seatbelts on because I was scared, you know. And I'm glad that I'm able to sense when I could potentially be in danger. I'm glad that my etheric body is able to pick up on those energy, you know, not signatures, those energy symptoms, or, you know, whatever it is. My energy was feeling that man's energy. I know that for sure. And it's not just me being an empath that protects me. You know, I have my higher self, I have my guardian angels, my divine spiritual team also. Maybe that's why I have so many different alert bells going off, because I get red flag, warning, warning, alert, alert. It's like all of these things that I hear in my head, and I see these pictures in my third eye, in my mind's eye. But yeah, if you guys have a story similar to mine, or, you know, something like that, you know, feel free to share it down below. I would love to hear, you know, your guys' stories if you guys are energy sensitive like I am as well. There was something else I wanted to talk about too. There was another time that I felt the presence of being in my house. There was a person in my house. Okay, so I was gone on vacation. I lived in Rochester, New York. I was how old was I? I was 18 years old. And no, I was 17 years old. I was living above a printer shop in Rochester, New York. And I went on vacation with my mom for 2 weeks in Florida, and my roommate was not home. Okay. But I remember coming back, and when I went into the house, I remember, well, my roommate was there, but I think she went to her mom's house because I was gone on vacation, so she felt kind of weird staying in the house by herself. So she was here and there, but I know that when I came home from vacation, she wasn't in the house. She was at work, or I don't know. She was somewhere. She just wasn't in the house. And I don't know, I felt like somebody was in the house, but it wasn't her. Like, I didn't feel it was her that I was feeling, but I felt like there was a person that was there, but it was so strong that I felt like they were still there. So I remember walking around the whole entire apartment, walking into every single room, and I remember saying her name, Denise, are you here? Even though I didn't feel like it was her that was there, but I did feel like somebody was there, so I was calling out to her, and of course nobody answered me. And I remember, I don't know, it was just really weird. I walked into all these rooms in the house, and nobody was there. And I remember I was leaving. I started to walk back through the kitchen to go downstairs, and I heard a voice in my head that said, intruder, intruder. Okay? And something told me to go back and look for the intruder. It's weird because I did. I went back and looked for the intruder, and I was like, intruder, this is weird. And then I don't really remember anything after that. I kind of like blacked out, but not blacked out because I remember walking, but I remember like I was in zombie mode, like somebody was controlling me. That's kind of how I felt. I remember turning right back around, walking back through the kitchen, back through my room, and I opened up my roommate's bedroom door, and then I turned and opened up her closet, and then all of a sudden everything went black because there was a person in the closet. I just remember seeing a person and then getting like that fuzzy, maybe I was about to pass out, I don't know. You know how you see the fuzzy, you know when your TV is that black and white fuzzy stuff on the TV? That's what I seen in my eyes, and it did like a blackout moment for like a millisecond. And then I remember pointing and yelling, "Get out!" And I was telling the person to get out of my house. Well, I don't know. It was weird. It's like my energy sniffed out their energy and just like found them or just guided me to it. I was like an energy dog. I don't know. It was just really weird. What's really, really strange is the person that was in my house was not a dangerous person. It wasn't a dangerous intruder, but it was an intruder. I actually knew the person. He got kicked out or something by his girlfriend, and he was homeless, and he knew that I was on vacation and I wasn't there, and he got in through my house. Apparently he knew that my roommate wasn't there either, because he, later on when I seen him out in the street, you know, he apologized and all that, and he told me how he got in the house, and he apologized, and he knew he was wrong, and yada yada yada. But anyways, he climbed up through the fire escape, went in through my window, and he was in the house, you know, and he just needed a place to stay and sleep. But yeah, that was years ago. My life was wild, you guys, but I'm just glad that I was safe, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, just to show you how strong my energy is. Like, my energy can sense other people's energy. It's that, so I like literally sniffed this person out, literally. And if you can just tune into your own energy field, into yourself, you will be able to do exactly what I did. Now, another trait of an empath is being alone or in solitude. They love to be alone. It's absolute bliss for an empath. I mean, at least it is for me. And sometimes empaths love and need to be alone regularly. Okay? I crave alone time. If I don't get enough alone time, I am a grumpy old bitch. I hate people. And I'm just nasty all day long. I just need to be alone sometimes. I need to recharge my batteries, or I'm very unpleasant to be around. And when people are very needy, and even if they're needy and at the same time being very attentive to me, that bothers me. When my energy is low, that really, really bothers me. But when I get enough alone time and I, recharge my energy, then I'm fine. But if I don't get enough alone time, I am nasty. I really do look forward to my alone time. I look forward to people just leaving me alone so that I can be alone. Sometimes when my husband is home and he goes grocery shopping or, steps out or whatever he does to leave, and he asks, if I want to go with him, a lot of the time I'm like, no, I just want to be, I want to be home. I want to be alone. And he thinks I'm weird because he don't like to be home alone. He loves to be in the presence of people. I am totally opposite. I get enough people time during the day. Now that I'm back in, the matrix working, I get enough people energy. So I really enjoy my alone time. I really do. And there's a lot of times that if I'm around people, or a party, or a family gathering. I meant to say family and gathering at the same time. A father. If I'm at a family gathering, I tend to wander off and find a place to go and stare at the sky or sit by a tree or look at flowers or whatever. Even when I'm home and everybody's here, when my daughter's here and my husband's here, I tend to wander out and just start walking around. And I do my walk of gratitude, and I go down by the water, or I sit in nature, or sometimes I even go and I take a drive, especially when it's the autumn season. I love to take a drive and, see all the pretty trees changing, to all the pretty colors. So yeah, I'll go and I'll take a drive just so I can be alone. And it feels amazing. And only empaths will truly understand this feeling of what I'm talking about. Only a person that is aware that they're empathic will truly, truly, truly understand the true meaning of what it feels like, or the true feeling of what it feels like to be alone. So being in big crowds or big groups is just very uncomfortable. It's not a comfortable place to be for a very long period of time, or, sometimes not even at all. You may find that big crowds and people with noisy energy, you might find them to be very, very overwhelming. At least I do. I get the mental image of a cat fighting its way out of a bathtub full of water. When you put me in a crowd full of people, it's like I'm just like that cat trying to get out of the tub, not trying to get water on my paws. What else? Lots of empaths. If you're an empath, you may hate or recoil at any type of conflict or any kind of violence, or a violent situation of any kind. And it could be anything, like the person that's driving the car yelling at the person in front of you to get the hell out of the way. That could just make you be like, them. Just something as simple as that. Kids and animals will love you to pieces. They're like drawn to empaths. I think that people that are more aware that they're an empath, their etheric energy signature, I feel that it's bigger, wider, brighter, and it stretches out kind of like little fingers, little fibers. I think the more that your energy is high, your energy around your body stretches like fingers, like threads, and it can reach out and touch other people's energy fields. And I feel like the more aware that you are an empath, and the more empathic you are, your energy field is like that. And when you're around kids, or in the presence of a child or an animal, it's like you're consciously, you could be unaware, and unconsciously your energy field is like reaching out to that little child and pulling them in towards you into your energy field. Because there's a lot of times that I'm in public and I attract kids, and I don't know why. I mean, I like kids. I like everybody. I'm cool. I stay in my lane. I mind my business. My husband's different. When he sees a baby in a store, he walks up to the baby, tickles their feet, tells them how cute they are, wants to give them little love bites and kisses and talk, like baby talk and all that. And I'm just like, oh, look, a baby, how cute. Let's keep going. I'm not like a really big kid person, but yet I don't get it. The kids are all attracted to me. They want to be chatty with me. They want to hug me. I've been in stores where I've been hugged by kids. I've been at parties where I didn't know anybody, and I had a little girl last year in a rainbow bathing suit come up and sit on my lap and tell me what her name was and tell me I was beautiful, and she was rubbing my face. When we're in a grocery store or we're standing in line, Eventually I'll notice like a baby struggling, to look around his mom, or dad just, stretching his neck around his mom, looking at me and then smiling. And, my husband brought that to my attention one day. And since he brought that to my attention, I notice it more now. And I see these little kids and, they're like mesmerized. And sometimes I wonder what they see. I wonder what I look like to them. Sometimes I feel like I'm like this big purpley blob of light that looks so beautiful, and I don't know. I really don't know what I look like. But the same thing with animals. I like animals. I love cats and I love horses. Those are my choices of animals, that I would love to have. I love cats. I always have a cat. I like dogs. I'm not a really big dog person. You know, I know people that have dogs and they let their dogs jump on them, lick them, sleep on the couch, sleep in their bed. Me, I'm not that big of a dog person. It's like, you can come in the house, but you can't sleep on my couch. Don't lick me and don't jump on me. But I'll pet you and I'll give you hugs and stuff like that. I don't like going to other people's houses and having their dog jump on me. That's kind of annoying. I don't like to be licked by dogs. I just don't like the smell of their breath makes my stomach turn. I don't like dog breath. I don't like puppy breath either. Some of you guys are probably like, what? You're crazy. You're so mean, Gabbie. I'm just being honest with you guys. But I like dogs. I like all animals. I like everything. I don't really like bugs. I hate spiders. Being on this, I have to admit though, being on this spiritual journey and opening up and expanding my consciousness and awareness and all that yada 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 stuff, I used to kill spiders right away when I see them. Now I kind of like tell the spider, go away, hurry up, run, find a hiding spot before you get killed, because if you get close to me, I'm going to squish you, or send my husband to come and evacuate, get you evicted from my house. But for the most part, I like everything. I've noticed within the last couple of years, since I've expanded my awareness, my consciousness, I've attracted birds. I've never really been a bird person. I don't think birds should be a pet. Birds are animals that are definitely meant to be free to fly. When I see a bird as a pet in a cage, it makes me sad. But for the most part, I'm not a bird person. I'm scared of birds. I don't want them to, they poop on you, they bite. I've been bitten by a bird. I still have the scar. And it was a pet bird. It was Conyard or something like that. It bit me, and I still have the scar. I'm afraid of birds. But they're attracted to me. Just yesterday, I was sitting on the porch. No, maybe it was this morning. It was this morning. I was sitting on the porch, drinking a cup of coffee, talking to my mom, and this robin just came out of nowhere, and it flew so close to me that I felt the feather hit my shoulder. And then it landed on the ground in front of me, turned around and looked at me like I was the one that was in the bird's way. Like I'm the one that bumped the bird. It's the bird that bumped me. And then he flew away. A chipmunk. The other day I was looking out the window and this chipmunk comes out of this little, I have gutters on the ground because they blew off from the storm. And the little chipmunk got up on his back legs and he was looking at me and he was just staring at me. And then he kept coming closer and closer to the window to look up at me, and he was just stretching out his little neck, staring at me, and then he ran away. There's these two little baby squirrels. They're always, when I'm in the yard, they're always coming and running down the tree branches, and they get as close as they will. They won't come up to me, but they get as close as they will, and then they kind of like make all these weird noises, and they just sit there and they stare at me. So I bought a whole bag of peanuts, so now I feed them. I attract all the stray neighborhood cats. They all come to my house. I have stray dogs that come to my house. I don't know, I just have all kinds of weird animals. I had a bobcat on my porch 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I'm always attracting strange animals. So yeah, empaths will definitely attract children and animals. Definitely. Just give me a second. Let me get a drink of my water. My mouth is a little dry. I still have been very thirsty lately. There's a lot of energies coming in. And I think we're about to get blasted with some solar waves pretty soon. I was looking at the solar updates, and there's a coronal hole opening up on the sun. So we're going to have, I think actually stuff was spewing out of it. So it should be hitting us by the 15th or the 16th, something like that. I forgot what I was talking about. People. Oh, you know what else I attract? Turtles. Snakes. I'm not a huge snake person. But I get a lot of snakes in my yard, but I do live in the country. And turtles, I do live by the water. But they all find their way up into my yard, and they really have to walk up a steep hill to get to my yard. Another trait that an empath has is listening to other people. Now, listening to other people is something that you may love and enjoy. And you may notice that people approach you for advice. I like to listen to people instead of engaging in conversation. I used to engage in a lot of conversation, but over the years, I don't know, maybe my energy has just been taxed. So I like to listen. I like to listen in and just listen to people. But I do notice that I get a lot of people approach me to talk to me, and they ask me for advice. And I find that I give guidance a lot. I'm always giving advice and guidance. And I feel like I'm always constantly showing empathy. And this was brought to my attention consciously maybe a week ago. Maybe less than a week ago, because I was writing the content for this video, and I think that's why I was consciously aware of this. And I realized, wow, I do listen to a lot of people, and I do get a lot of people approaching me, asking me for, guidance, support, advice, and I do, I'm always in somebody else's business, it feels like. Not because I want to be, it's because they're bringing it to me. It's like I feel like, I don't know, what's that lady's name? She was the advice lady. Whatever her name was, I feel like her. I even get strangers that make small talk with me in the line at the grocery store, and they end up telling me their whole life story, or even personal stuff, crazy personal stuff. Another trait, or maybe this is not a trait, maybe this is more like a challenge. Your emotions may sometimes be like the 4 seasons, and the 4 seasons in one day, like they're changing, boom, boom, boom. Your emotions are like, changing really fast. And they can do this within the matter of like 10 minutes. And you may often feel so emotional. Like one minute you're feeling really sad, and the next minute you're feeling really happy or very angry or frustrated. Like you get a lot of mood swings. Your mood and energy levels are changing constantly, throughout the days. They fluctuate depending on, where you are and who's around you. I'm more sensitive around my immediate family than I am in public. In public, it's kind of like a bipolar when you're around a lot of people in public, because I'm picking up on a lot of people's energy, but I'm more sensitive to the people that I live with. Like I pick up on their energy immediately. Like as soon as they walk in the room, sit down next to them, boom, I can feel their energy. Like I already know. Nobody has to tell me how they feel, because I can already feel it. Sometimes I feel their energy so well that I can almost hear their energy. Like their energy is actually making words and talking to me and telling me how it feels. I am hypersensitive around my family. I'm hypersensitive to energy, but I'm hypersensitive around my immediate family. Sometimes I even feel the physical pain of other people. Now, if somebody else has, I don't know, a headache or a backache, I feel it. And if you are an empath that is able to pick up on people's pain, and you may be a healthy person, and you may be feeling like fine, and you take the train to work. This is an example. Maybe you take the train to work, and you wake up, you're fine, you're full of energy. Then you get on the train, and then all of a sudden you have a headache. You're like, wow, why does my neck hurt so, or why does my head hurt so bad? And then all of a sudden your neck hurts, and you feel, or maybe you feel like nauseous, and you feel like you're coming down with something, and you don't know what the hell just came over you. And then you get off the train and you get to work, and you're like, whew, all those feelings went away. And then you sit and you probably wonder, like, what the hell was that? What the hell just hit me? Whatever it was, hit me hard, fast, and then went away. It wasn't it was something that hit you. It was energy. You picked up on somebody's headache, somebody's neck ache, somebody's, tummy issues. You were picking up on all of those energy signatures. And that's probably because you are hypersensitive to energy, to physical and emotional, and you're probably even sensitive to mental energy as well. Your own physical, emotional, and mental reserves may often feel very, very depleted, as if you've used all your energy up. I feel like I'm depleted almost always, like all the time. Like I wake up, normally when I wake up, I'm always like cool, I'm good. And then as soon as I leave my house, it's like I'm really tired and I feel very low on energy. I've learned how to deal with that. It was a challenge because it was something that you have to be consistent with grounding yourself. But even though I'm consistent with it, I still get very depleted, like always. Some of my friends and family, they just don't know why I'm always MIA all the time. They're always like, you don't come around no more, or when you do come around, you're always wandering off. And the reason for that is because I just need to recharge. I need to be alone so I can recharge. And, this is why lots of empaths are very, very fatigued, because their energy is just being drained from them. This is no joke. This is a real thing. This is real. This is legit. This is 100% real. And us empaths that are aware that we're empaths, we have to be consistent with cleaning our energy field. We have to be consistent with grounding so that we're not always tired, so we don't get sick. Because if you don't ground yourself and you're constantly tired and you don't take care of yourself energetically, you will become very sick emotionally, very sick physically, and very sick mentally, like mental breakdown. Okay, so there's many types of empaths out there in the world. Many people refer to different types of empaths. Empath ability may or may not be tied in with spiritual beliefs and awarenesses. Okay? Each different type has usually have a stronger ability in one particular area. Okay, all empaths may feel everything that I'm about to talk about, but they may feel a lot stronger in another ability over another, or you know what I mean. Empaths may feel many empathic traits in more than one sense to varying degrees. Okay. Now, emotional empaths will sense and absorb the emotions and energy of other people and they'll feel them, like I was talking about, the little scenario I gave about getting on the train and going to work and feeling the energies around you. That's an emotional empath. They will just know whether someone else is in, if they're sad or if they're depressed or if they're happy or if they're like, I think I went over all of the emotions, happy, sad, depressed. They'll just know what kind of emotion another person is feeling because they'll pick it up, they'll absorb it, and they'll pick it up right away. They'll just know whether, they're feeling an emotion at all. Some people are very emotionless. They're lower than depressed. They're like blank. And I've been around people that have been emotionless. Like, you're trying to feel them out. Sometimes I feel like those people don't have a soul. When I can't get something from somebody, that's like like kind of like a red flag for me. Like when I don't pick up on an energy signature from somebody, either they're really, 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 really grounded and protected, or that's a soulless body. Now, an emotionally receptive empath will feel the same and know how the other person is feeling without having to ask a person. They display natural emotional empathy because they get how the other person is feeling, because they can feel it, so that they understand it, so they know how to kind of approach the person that they're with, because they can feel their emotion and they're feeling what that person's going through, so they're receptive to it, and they know how to communicate back to that person because of what they're feeling. They will also see through any person that is putting on a facade or a front that another person may be putting up to hide how they're really, really feeling. You know, you can't lie to an empath. You cannot lie to an empath that's aware that they're an empath. Then there's actually the scenario I gave on the train was both of these, emotional and physical, because you can feel the emotions of everybody around you. But also, when you're picking up on somebody's body pain, then you're a physical empath. Physical empaths will feel or know where other people's aches and pains are and illnesses when they're around that person. This may be an intuitive awareness or a sense of what symptoms someone else has. For me, I believe it's both. Like, it's intuitive awareness, but it's also, I feel it. Like, I can feel what they're feeling in their body, and I get it in my body. Especially when I'm doing a reading. Sometimes when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I can pick up on what either spirit was feeling or what the person I'm reading is feeling. And so when I feel strange aches and pains, or, you know, hot, cold, or, you know, certain sensations in my body, I'll say that, I'll mention it in my reading, because it may resonate with the person that I'm reading, because I'm picking up on those physical emotions. I know that I feel the same when I'm picking up on somebody's physical pain. I feel exactly what they're feeling. Like, I just know. For example, the other day, my husband had a headache, and all day long he was like, I have a headache, a migraine, it was really bad. And I kept telling him to go lay down, shut the lights off, drink water. Finally his headache went away. Oh, my right ear is ringing really, really loud. At least I think his headache went away. He said it felt better, but when he started to say that his headache felt better, I started to feel a dull ache in my forehead, like the beginning of a headache. I think I was feeling what I thought was the beginning of a headache was the ending of his headache. I was picking up on his physical symptoms. I mimic a lot of my husband's symptoms, actually. I mimic his backaches. He has a really bad back, and I pick up on his bad back on top of the bad back feelings that I've been feeling for the last couple of weeks now. It's actually started to get better. I still feel it. Like, if I pick up anything heavy, it hurts a lot. So maybe I tore a muscle. I don't know. But I do pick up on my husband's bad back. I also can pick up on, if I'm around somebody with low energy, your energy level will drop. I know mine does. So if I'm around somebody that has low energy, my energy level will immediately drop. This is why I carry my crystals around with me. When I notice the drop in my energy, because I do constant check-ins with myself. So when I notice that energy drop within myself, I take a moment for myself to realign myself and rebalance myself out, to raise my vibration back up. So you have to be cautious around people, especially people that are in a low vibration. I noticed this the other day at work, actually. I was surrounded by lots of unhappy employees. And then all of a sudden, my energy went kerplunk. Like, I walked into work, everything was great, I was happy, and then I went up on the floor and boom, all of a sudden I just felt this weird drop in energy. It went from a 10 to a 1 really fast. I felt it. A lot of times I sense what other people may need in terms of healing. And it could be physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay? I carry crystals with me all the time. And there's these little shards that I carry, little small ones. And I give them away sometimes, only if I'm guided to, because I like to wear my crystals. I love crystals. But I seem to give them away. But I only give them away when I'm guided to give them away. I've been places before where people's energy has been very low and depressed and sad, and I can sense that they need the healing, and usually I'll pull a crystal out of my bra, because that's where I store them. It's in my bra, and I'll pull it out, and I'll give them a little talk about the crystal, and I'll tell them what the crystal will do for them, and it usually lifts their energy. And then the next time I see them, they'll tell me how happy they've been feeling and how their life just feels so different and so light and so airy-fairy, and that brings a smile to my face. I love handing out crystals. I really do. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to hand out crystals. I actually have to re-up on my crystals because I handed them all out. I have one left, one of those little tiny ones, so I have to probably go online and order some more. There's a metaphysics shop probably about 30 minutes away from me. It's not too far, but it's not real close either. 30 minutes in the country feels like an hour drive. Just kind of going over my notes, some bullet points here. Yeah, so that's about it for the physical empath. The next kind of empath that I want to talk about is the intellectual empath. They find themselves able to communicate with different vocabulary or different words, a jargon. They're able to communicate using, like slang, jargon, different kinds of vocabulary. This can happen in different contexts and really fast. It's like something. It's quick. It's like turning the page. It's like pushing an on button for them. They may find themselves, their communication style and their use of language and phrases, it kind of just adapts to what another person is using. And I know some people call the intellectual empaths chameleons. I don't like to say that because to me it's like, yeah, they're blending in or whatever, but to me I think that they're using it in a slang way, not slang, but in a derogatory way, like they're kind of like two-faced. So I don't like to call the intellectual empaths chameleons, but it's kind of like they are one, but not in a bad way, in a good way. They're blending in a good way. They do not do this consciously. They don't think about it. What they're doing is they're mirroring the behavior of the person that they're around. It just happens automatically. Like, I don't know, it's just like when they meet somebody, they talk to them, it's like a constant, it's like somebody changed the channel and they're tuned in on that frequency automatically. And I catch myself doing this, and I only know that I catch myself doing this because I was talking about it. And when I started writing about this and talking about this is when it brought a conscious awareness to what I was doing, and I caught myself doing this. I catch myself doing this often, actually. I feel that intellectual empaths find themselves working in customer service positions a lot of intellectual empaths have to be able to use different vocabulary, different jargon, different slang, different words to be able to sell whatever it is they're selling, or most customer service people are selling stuff, or, you know, resolving problems. And the way to resolve a problem is to be able to use your vocabulary and fit in with that person and just, you know, kind of go with the flow. This is actually a great tool to have as an empath if you're aware of it. And now that I'm talking about it, a lot of you guys, maybe this will bring awareness to you. And maybe a lot of you guys do this too, and you were probably unaware that you do this until now. But just to be clear with you guys, you can have more than one of these traits and gifts. You can have all of them. You just may be stronger in one area over the other. Okay, so the next empath I want to talk about is the intuitive empath. Intuitive empaths have this innate sense of knowing. They intuitively know. This may be something that cannot actually be physically seen or be something that is about to happen. Okay, I identify as an intuitive empath. Intuitive empaths have dreams. They dream a lot, that very vividly, and they remember these vivid dreams. Their dreams may be precognitive, okay? They become reality and actually happen for them, you know, somewhere's down the road. Kind of like I guess it's like a premonition. Yeah, I think it's like, that's the word, premonition. A lot of empaths that are intuitive have these premonitions, and then they actually happen a couple days later. And they know when someone is lying. Just like the other empath, the intuitive empath can pick up on this as well. They're very, very perceptive about other people's overt or covert intentions, okay? This is another strength that I have. I am an excellent energy reader. I can read energy very, very well. My husband used to say that I was judgy until things would unfold in a situation, and then he would come back to me and say, "Wow, Gabe, you were right. How did you know?" And I just told him, I can read energy. I can pick up on somebody's energy signature, and I can know what their intentions are before they even play out. And when they play out, the people that I told that, you know, this person is this, this, and this, boom, it happens. It might take a week, might take a day, might take an hour, might take a month, might take 2 years. But I'm always right. And I always say that I am 98% right, because I am excellent. I'm excellent at reading body language and energy. I don't know. I'm very perceptive. I think that's the word I want to use, perceptive. I'm in tune to everything around me. My kids hate it. Okay, so the next empath is an animal empath. They're usually the horse whisperer, the dog whisperer, you know, those kind of people. These empaths have a sense of what an individual, or they have the sense of what an individual animal is feeling, or what that animal may be experienced, or what that animal may need, okay? They not only love animals, they connect with animals, okay? They may prefer animals, you know, the company of an animal, over people. And I know a lot of people like that. I mean, I prefer animals over, I prefer my cat over people, 100%. Because my cat doesn't bother me. When I'm alone, my cat's like, I'm alone too. We can be alone together. That's how I feel when I'm with my cat. I have noticed since my awakening, I do see all animals in a different way, and I mentioned that earlier in this video. I noticed that I have been attracting animals like squirrels and chipmunks and birds. I haven't, in years before, I don't ever really remember attracting birds, chipmunks. I've been pooped on by birds. That's about it. That's as close as I get to attracting birds. But yeah, I don't know. I just really haven't paid attention to it until just recently. They just seem to come closer and closer and closer to me, and they just seem to be around me all the time. Even birds in the yard, they just like land in the yard. I could be like sitting in a chair and they're not even scared. They just land and, pick bugs out of the grass, worms, whatever they're doing. And, they don't really pay no mind to me, but they don't come around if I'm sitting outside with another person. Only if I'm sitting by myself. So I seem to attract animals. But I don't identify as an animal empath. I mean, they're attracted to my energy, but I'm definitely not like a dog whisperer or horse whisperer. I don't connect like that. I mean, I can feel the empathy from an animal. I can feel their energy, but that's about it. Animal empaths go way deeper. It's like, when an intuitive empath would channel for a person. That's what animal empaths do. They like channel for an animal. Like they can hear the animal language. At least that's how I feel. That's the mental picture that I'm getting. Now another type of empath is the plant empath. Now these people, the people that are plant empaths, they have a strong connection to nature and plants and trees, and they know what certain plants need, and they know what certain trees need, and they know what to offer them because they know what they need. They are the green-fingered gardeners, growers who love being in nature. Plants will thrive in their presence. They will not die because they know what to give that plant so it will live. They basically just know intuitively how to care and tend for any type of plant, tree, bush, anything that grows in the ground. They know how to take care of it. Plant empaths, they also have this awareness of, plants and how to use them and how they function. They'll know what plant is edible and what the environment needs for the, they'll just know what plant you'll need in your environment. So if you're, how certain plants are good for like, for your bedroom so that you can sleep, what plants will clear out electromagnetic energies out of your house, stuff like that. They just know these things. They're just plant empaths. It's strange. I'm not a strong plant empath. I mean, I do enjoy my houseplants. I do like my little tiny garden. I'm not a big gardener. The plants that I have in the house are my lily, the spider plant, and then there's like this ivy plant that I don't even know the name of it. I think it's some sort of an ivy plant. It grows really long. Some people hang it up, and the plant just grows really long, and some people pin the long leaves as they grow around the house. And those seem to survive for me. I've grown a few vegetables and herbs, but I'm not a plant whisperer, that's for sure. There's a lot of things that I have a hard time growing because I don't know what it needs and it ends up dying on me. There's times though when I feel like the trees are communicating with me and the flowers are communicating with me. Like I'll pick up like an energy that, like a communicative energy, like it gets my attention and it's sending like love or like a hello or hey, look at me, acknowledge me. And that's about it. I don't really get any of the other stuff. Just the other day, and I'm not I don't think I'm allergic to any plants. There's poison ivy on the fence here, and I didn't know it was poison ivy, and I was tearing some of the plants that were like attached to the fence on the property line, and I was just like tearing them down so the new ones could grow in. And the landlord told me that was poison ivy. I said, "Are you sure?" Because I didn't get poison ivy, so I must not be allergic to it. And so the new landlord, I like being outside. I like sitting in nature. I like being around plants. Well, he comes over here and says that he wants to spray Roundup around the yard and everything. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Roundup causes cancer. And then he laughs at me and he gives me a look and he says, everything causes cancer. Okay, whatever. I hate when people do that. So I just kindly asked him to please not spray anywheres around my yard. If he wants to spray the property line before my yard or around the marina docks in the front of the property, like way far away from me, or even the other 2 cottages in the back, if he wants to spray them, knock yourself out. Just please don't spray my garden. And he's like, oh, but the weeds this, the weeds that. Honestly, you guys, some weeds are really pretty, and I prefer having weeds around. So, yeah, I just asked him not to spray it because I really got really nervous that he was using Roundup, and I just thought that was so awful, and I just thought it was so man, I don't know. Anyways, I hate that stuff. I just wish they would just leave nature alone. I really do. Let the damn weeds grow. If you don't like them, pull them out, cut them down, but don't freaking poison us. We got so much poison all around us. We don't need our landlords spraying poison in our yards, and our dogs and cats and kids are all breathing all that stupid shit in, getting brain cancer. It's just crazy. It's so sad that, some people are so oblivious to the harm that they create, and that they're so unaware of the poisons that they use, and they're just so stuck in the 3D realm, Anyhow, I was adamant that he does not spray my front yard where I sit or my garden. And he just looked at me like I was nuts, and I don't care. I just looked at him back like, no, you're nuts. And then I just walked away. Okay, so moving on. So the other type of empath out there is the environmental empath. They intuitively sense what has happened or may happen in a physical space. Kind of like how psychometry, what's that empath called? Psychometry. The empath or the intuitive that can read psychometry. The one that can read the energy from a physical object. What is the name? If you guys know the name of that, write it down below. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I think it's maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm not even going to say it no more because maybe I'm saying it wrong. But there's an energy, there's an empath that can read. They can read the environment, okay? And when they read the environment, it's just like the empath that could read the physical object, the energy of a physical object. Like I collect antiques, and I had a medium come into my house, and she picked up a mirror that I bought from an antique store, and she was able to tell me, she was able to describe to me the way the woman looked that owned the mirror that I bought. She was able to describe her smile, her eyes, her hair. She was even able to give me a mental image of something that she's seen this woman do when this woman was alive. So that's kind of how an environmental empath works. They can pick up on the energy of the environment or the land or a location. They're sensitive to what may have happened within that environment before. Okay, when they hold or when they touch objects, they may be able to harvest the information of the land, like picking up the dirt or a rock. That's kind of like how the empath or the intuitive medium, when they hold an object, they're able to harvest the information about the owner. Like the medium that came in my house, when she held my mirror, she was able to harvest a little bit of the information about the owner that owned it before me. That's what an environmental empath can do when, you know, they're out in the land. At least that's what I feel. I'm not an environmental empath. I don't relate with that at all. I don't know if they have to be at the actual location to know if there's going to be, for say, maybe an earthquake, or if a tornado is going to come, or if they can look at a picture and get some sort of energy signature and say, this happened here, a wicked tornado hit, and this is why there's this crater here, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't identify with the environmental one, but I understand it. Now, spiritual empaths may have a direct connection to other realms. I identify with spiritual empaths because I have connection to the other realms, because I do connect with the other realms. Also known as a medium empath, or as I like to say, intuitive empath. Intuitive empaths may feel that they connect with spirit, because they do. They connect with spirit, or they connect with people that have passed away, deceased loved ones, or other spiritual beings or creatures from whatever belief system that they carry. Okay? Their psychic empathic ability will include being able to feel emotional and physical symptoms from their communication with the spiritual world. This helps me a lot when I do my card readings, because that's how I connect, because I'm an intuitive empath. Okay? This is one area, this is a strength that I have. This is a gift that I embrace. Okay? This works in the same way as an emotional empath, and how they connect with other people in the physical world. Okay, so I resonate with both. I identify with mostly all the empathic traits and gifts, not all of them, but mostly all of them. And some I have more strength, in others. I definitely don't connect with the land one. I connect, well, maybe the animal one too. I really don't connect with that one that well. I mean, I connect a little bit. I connect enough to know that I'm connecting, but that's definitely not one of my strong traits. Now, as many of you probably connect, there's a lot of you guys. Oh man, I'm getting so sidetracked over here because I'm looking up and I'm reading and I'm trying to think what I want to say, and it's not coming out, and my mouth is really dry. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, a lot of you guys that are listening to this video may probably resonate with a lot of the gifts and the traits that I talked about. So if you do, I would really like to know which ones you connect with. Do you connect with all of them? Do you only connect with some of them? If you connect with some of them, what are they? And if you connect with one more than the other, share down below what it is, because I'm interested. I like to read what you guys write. I like reading your comments. I might not respond back to all of you guys, but I definitely read your comment, and I like and heart it. And it gets hard to comment to every single one. Once more than 30 people comment, I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people. So then I just start liking and hearting each comment, just to let you guys know that I did read it. But I wanted to save the last empath, the last trait of an empath, or the last, I it's the last identity. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yes. I wanted to save the last identity of this empath for the last portion of this video, because this is the one that I really wanted to talk about. And this one is called the Heyoka empath. I've been so excited to talk about this one. I actually wanted to do a whole video on this one, but I really wanted to talk about all of the empaths, not just this one. But I really did want to mention this one, and that's why I saved it for last, because it's very interesting. And a lot of you guys that listen to this video, you may resonate with all of these. If you resonate with more than 4 of the traits, you are probably a Heyoka empath. And I'll tell you why. I identify as, well, when I'm talking to you guys, I don't tell you guys that I'm identifying as a Heyoka. But for the sake of this video, I'm letting you guys know that I am a Heyoka empath. And this is my true gift, okay? I used to say that I am an intuitive empath. Well, not used to say, because that's when somebody asks me what I am an intuitive empath, because I am. You know, I pick up on more than 4 of these traits. But all in all, my true gift is the Heyoka gift. And I'm going to explain why I'm a Heyoka. And you may be too, if you are strong in one or more of the empathic skills that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history. Heyoka is a Native American term meaning sacred clown, or it means fool. I know it sounds like an odd or ridiculous terminology, or even maybe it may sound rude to some of you, especially because we now consider Heyokas to be the most powerful type of empath. So it kind of seems kind of rude to call the most powerful type of empath a fool or a clown. But I'm going to explain why the Native Americans, why their meaning for Heyoka is sacred clown. So hear me out. The translation of a Heyoka is not as ignorant as it sounds. The word and meaning gives us the true meaning that the Native Americans tried to put behind the word, or the best way that they knew how. Okay? There's actually a really good raw reason behind it. In English, it would be more appropriate to describe a Heyoka empath as someone who sees the world differently and acts in a way that is the opposite of normal. Okay? That's a nice way of putting it. But life is raw. And us Americans seem to get so offended so easily. So we kind of soften stuff up, or we tend to smooth out the edges because we don't like to get cut. But pain helps people heal. We can't heal without pain. So I appreciate the raw meaning with a good explanation. When you meet a Heyoka in person, they act as a great emotional mirror. What you see in them will show you what you must work on to grow and evolve spiritually. Connecting with a Heyoka empath can be an emotional experience. You may leave feeling angry. You may leave feeling very happy. You may leave feeling an incredible sense of love. Okay? As an emotional mirror, whenever a Heyoka senses an emotional reaction in you, they use it as a guide of what to reflect back to you. That will help you most on your journey or your spiritual path in this lifetime. Okay? Sometimes sometimes, you guys, they do this unconsciously. I tend to do this unconsciously until recently. Spirit has brought to my attention to consciously do this, or, while I was doing it, I was made aware I was doing it so that I could see how my gift works. Okay, I was able to bring awareness to see how my gift is working. So for instance, I was at work and a server was like really wicked stressed out. And I asked her to take a table. And she got a taste of her own personality. And so did I. I felt like I was outside of me. I was like outside of me, seeing how this all plays out. I was able to see the bigger picture. I was consciously aware of this played out situation or this human role play. The server left the server left me, the Heyoka me, feeling irritated and angry because of my ignorance, okay? But in reality, this is the Heyoka's way, my way of showing her she needs to be more humble or nicer or kinder, whatever the experience, whatever it meant to her. Reflecting back to her, it was just showing her who she was. And if she was, I don't know if this really works for people that are not aware, because I could see how it can make people angry, but when they become aware of it, I could see how it's healing for them and how it shows them how they are. It's like they're mirroring themselves, and if they can realize that they're mirroring themselves, then I could see how this could be healing and helpful for them. I see this play out in real time, within and around me. I feel like I'm not explaining this right. I really hope that I'm explaining this experience that I had properly. I hope that you guys are understanding or getting a mental picture of this. I'm really trying to give you guys a good mental picture. If I'm giving you guys a good mental picture of this, please just give me a thumbs up in the comments, or, send me a heart in the comment area, just so I know that I'm doing good so far. Another way I see myself work, and again, this was brought to my attention, okay? I was made consciously aware of another scenario. I have had many people in my presence, the Heyoka presence, leave me filled with a sense of love. I could sense their sense of love and appreciation when they left me. Like they got it, but not consciously. Like unconsciously they got it, but I changed their energy. I lifted their low vibration to a high vibration. I've conveyed, or shall I say, the Heyoka in me has conveyed the importance of self-love and acceptance, raising the other person's vibration. The guidance will be individualized to each person a Heyoka meets. This is what makes them so extremely powerful. Your ability to understand what they're trying to teach you will depend on how open your eyes are and whether or not you are tuned into your intuition. Okay, that's important. Me and my intuition, or my higher self, are tight homies. I've learned how to trust and listen to my intuition, my higher self, because my higher self is my future me. Now, I did a video on your higher self, talking about your intuition. If you're interested in watching that video, I'll link it down below, because it's really important that you learn how to trust your intuition, because your intuition, your higher self, is your future you coming back to the past to help you grow, okay? So you could glow, all right? Think about that. So some of you may be wondering, how can you, or will you know a Heyoka when you meet one? Is it possible that you Yes, you, and you are also Heyokas. It's possible, yes. The traits of a Heyoka empath vary, but there are, there's some signs that are very common. And some of those signs are being born breech, entering the world backwards. This one does not resonate with me. I was not a breech baby. I asked my mom if I was ever a breech. Like, did I ever go upside down and then go back to being non-breech? And she said no, I was always just in the right position. So I was never a breech baby. So that one doesn't resonate with me. Another sign is developing some traits slower than normal people. And I'm doing the quotation with my fingers. You just can't see me because this is an audio. But normal people, and other traits incredibly fast. This is me all day. Like, I develop a lot of things, a lot of my traits slower than the normal people, and I develop other traits incredibly fast. Okay, and but what is normal? Really, what's normal? I mean, like, is there really anybody out there that's actually normal? Like, what's normal? Being dyslexic. I'm sometimes dyslexic. I'm sometimes dyslexic. Like, I had to see a doctor for it, and then they try to teach you how to not be dyslexic. But if you're dyslexic, that's a trait that you are a Heyoka, being dyslexic. I'm sometimes dyslexic, but I feel it's not a disease or a disorder. Doctors claim it's a learning disorder. It's the way your eyes and mind see intuitively. This is what I feel, that a person that is deemed a dyslexic person, you're disabled or you have a disorder. No. That's BS, you guys. To me, it's the way your eyes and your mind see intuitively. It's the scramble of two worlds, okay? If you're dyslexic, you may pick up or see or say something intuitively, and it's accurate. And you're like, whoa, like you knew it was, like you saw it, okay, normal, okay, in quotations with my fingers again, normal person would just see a sentence and read it correctly. A dyslexic person would see more than that sentence, go deeper into it, and add a few things and add pictures and be totally accurate. Some people call it luck, but it's not luck. It's a gift. It's like seeing between the lines or seeing deeper within. We see things we consciously do not understand, but our unconscious mind totally understands. And intuitively, we tend to be right and see things hidden from our eyes, from the naked eyes. A dyslexic person might see the deeper meaning behind something that the naked eye is not picking up. And I think that has something to do with the right and the left side of the brain as well. If you are dyslexic, embrace that order, not disorder. Embrace that order because you're functioning properly. It's not a disorder. You are divine. Don't allow doctors to put a limit on your ability by calling it a disability, because you're able. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? All right, enough of that rant. I'm moving on. Heyokas tend to be emotionally unpredictable. This is totally me all day. I am emotionally unpredictable because I mingle with emotional people on a daily basis. I'm around so many people that in my emotions, I feel bipolar sometimes. It's crazy. Heyokas tend to do things backwards. I do this and people say that I'm doing stuff backwards or I'm doing it the hard way. But I seem to get whatever that I'm doing done. And I also see the other side of doing stuff in a different aspect or perspective because I'm doing it backwards. Okay. Heyokas tend to be outside of the box thinkers, which are awesome. Also, they appear younger than their actual age, their human age, their avatar age. People that I work with said just last Tuesday, to be exact, They said that if they had to guess my age, I look like I'm about 26. So that made me a happy camper. Someone else said that I looked to be about that age, that I looked about 25. And I love this trait because I've been 25 for the last 10 years. Yep. Now, a true Heyoka will never claim to be one. They won't walk around saying, hey, let me help you out because I'm a Heyoka empath. I can help you heal. I can show you who you really are. It is a knowledge that they carry inside of them as a sacred, private knowledge. It's unique, okay? However, a Heyoka can recognize another Heyoka when they feel their energy. They're deeply sensitive to another energy like other empaths, like all the empaths, okay? And they can see how emotions of various people play out and affect each other on a larger scale. In Native American tribes where Heyokas were respected, they were I don't want to say held on a pedestal, but they were held high. They were like the nobles, or like they're very well respected for their abilities. Okay, Heyokas would be the ones to open people's eyes to new possibilities and different angles of a situation. They also had the ability to shift the energy of a group through their understanding of emotions. And this is the reason that I feel that I was led to wanting to go back to work. Okay, even though I manifested this job that I have, before I manifested this job, and I spoke about this in another video. But before I manifested this job, I was talking to my husband and telling him that I wanted to go back to work. I was feeling a pull to leave the house and get back out there. But I manifested this job, but being pulled to the job. So it was kind of like a tit for tat, kind of. It came with a bonus, or I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't call it a bonus. It came with a challenge, or maybe it came with benefits. I don't know. It came with something. You know, I got this job. I was pulled back out there. I manifested it. Yeah, it came with benefits. Because, you know, the people I'm working with, they're learning. And I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm currently living it right now. I'm currently feeling the expansion in consciousness. This is affecting me on a large scale, you guys. I'm seeing my gifts in action, and I'm seeing them play out. So it feels new to me now that it has been brought to my attention, and I'm seeing it play out. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to feel it out. Like, I can feel it, but I'm just trying to feel it out. And, you know, I'm going through the emotions, and I'm still documenting it. But I'm seeing it on a much larger scale. I really am. Now, if you think that you are an empath, or you have someone in your life who is an empath, you will know that it's not always an easy way to be. Okay? Being this sensitive to other people's emotions, energy, and the environment can be hard. It can be very difficult. Not just hard, it's very difficult. Now, I have some tips for you guys. For all you empaths out there that are aware that you're an empath. Okay? By giving you all of this information, it'll help you guys to know the different types of empaths that are out there. That way, you know, you can develop some skills needed to look after yourselves and maintain your own space and boundaries. Maybe I brought awareness to some of you guys, and it opened up your awareness a little bit so you can acknowledge it and kind of see it play out like it's doing for me right now. And it'll help you. It really will. It'll open your eyes. It'll expand your awareness, and it's an amazing feeling. Now, boundaries, you guys, if you're an empath and you're aware that you're an empath, boundaries are very important. Boundaries are something that you all need to put in place, okay? I recently learned this and implemented it. And some people may not like it. Okay, most people may not like it. And that's okay, because it doesn't matter what they like. It matters what's making you feel good. Those people that don't like it, those people are the ones that you need to weed out of your garden of bliss, because those people are the ones that are killing your beautiful garden. Okay, they're killing your happiness. They're draining your energy. Boundaries. Set boundaries, you guys. I don't care if you have to set boundaries with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your spouse. It doesn't matter. You need to set boundaries. Even if it's with your job. Set boundaries. Hold on, I gotta drink some water. Oops. I gotta open it first. Okay. What else? Now there may be times when an empath needs to step away from their empathic, psychic, or spiritual side. Finding a way not to absorb and take on other people's stuff will help with regaining a sense of individual self within your life. Okay? On the plus side, being an empath is considered a gift. It truly is. It's a gift. It's a gift to be used wisely in life. Be sure to ground and protect yourself every single day. 70% of us do not breathe properly. That's a part of grounding. Breathing. Ground yourself. Breathe properly. Take big, deep belly breaths all day long. Learn to breathe. Take those big, deep breaths multiple times a day. It will also help you stay healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy. Okay? Clean your aura by smudging it using sage, Santo Palo, whatever you use to, cleanse your house from, low vibrational energy or negative energies. Clean your aura. Or you can take an Epsom salt bath, a Himalayan salt bath. Think positive, have positive thoughts, and don't let other people's energy lower your energy, lower your vibration. Try to get out into nature. Walk in the grass barefoot. Sit by a tree. Do some gardening with your hands, not with rubber gloves. This is why I took a 5-year break away from my old job. I was energetically taxed, and I had to learn how to take care of my heyoka. Okay, I didn't know that at the time, but I know it now. And it took 5 years to regain my energy, back to a functioning avatar out in public. Took 5 years, okay? And 5 years later, I'm back out in the public, and I know how to take care and protect my energy field. And now I'm out there teaching people. They just don't know it. If you're an empath, share your skills, share your gifts. If you are a heyoka, share a quick heyoka story with us. I would love to hear how you knew you were a heyoka. Now, before I end this video, you guys, I want to thank everybody for listening. I know this is a long video. Some of you guys like when I do long videos. I'm not sure about the other people. For those people that don't like long videos, I'm sure they signed off an hour ago because this is like an hour and 40 minutes or so. But I just want to thank you guys for listening, and I'm sorry for all the brain farts. Like, my mind was like I'm so thirsty that talking makes being thirsty worse. I just want to let you guys know that I love you guys, and I love your support. I love that you watch my videos. I love that you follow me, and I love your time donations. That's my favorite. I love your donations, like your money donations. Don't get it twisted. I like money. Money's good, but I really, really, really love your time donations, and I do love when you guys make things and send them to me. Who doesn't like getting presents in the mail? I love presents. I also like when you guys have your kids draw me pictures. I hang those things like on my refrigerator and stuff. So if you guys are interested in sending me a time donation, all the information is down below. If you guys would like to donate cash, I use PayPal or Cash App. All that information is down below too. Also, I'm still doing numerology readings. If you guys are interested in a numerology reading, all of the information that I read in the numerology reading is down below in the description area. I read your life path, your birthday number, meaning your heart desire, etc., etc., etc. All the information is down below. You just have to read. I know I have a lot of stuff down there. You just have to read and go through it slowly. And it's only $11.11, and that's a really good price because you get a lot of information. Just ask anybody that I've done a numerology reading for. They'll let you know that it's long, and I email it to you. I also do card readings, you guys, but I do the card readings by donation only. I have the past life reading that I do. I do regular tarot. Whatever you want to know, you ask a question. I do tarot. I do oracle angel cards. And I got an astrology deck, but I'm learning something with astrology, so I'm still reading about it, learning about it, getting knowledge about it, feeling them out. So I'm not doing the astrology ones yet, but I'm doing the other card readings by donation only. And you can donate by going to PayPal, or you could donate by going to the Cash App, or you could donate by sending me something. I don't know, anything. I love everything. Last but not least, I also make personalized salt baths. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. And email me, and I'll talk to you, and I'll let you know what's good for you guys. I love you guys. I'm sending you all kinds of love and healing light. Many blessings to all of you. Mwah! Happy vibes. Talk to you guys later. Bye.